Welcome back to Nxt Gen Amolytics. On today, we'll be looking for some props that we can hit on. Let's get into it. Starting out here on the batter versus pitcher slate tool, you'll notice some new filters here, added season and season segment to give you more so a different look of splits of these pitchers as you're looking at the starting pitcher slate. You can filter this down to last, number of days, last 30, for example, last 14, etc., the month. And then you also can look back to last year if you want to see what they're doing last year if they don't have a lot of data for this season. But starting out here, let's filter to the left-hand side. Filter this swing and strike percentage. This is lefties, yep. So got a couple lefties at the top here. I believe Bennett's a rookie. This Altogether from the Angels, Alexander here facing Miami. I believe Alexander is just an opener for Texas. Rocker is a primary pitcher there. You got Garrett Cole, who's just getting back. You also got Miro Kelly, who I will take a look at, given St. Louis does have some lefties in that lineup that can get to him. Really struggling from both sides of the plate, but more so lefties, only 11% K there. And you also notice that I added barrel percentage here, so you can see it as you're focused on one pitcher, see which side are they struggling in with their barrel percentage. But let's filter to lefties. And then also added here is barrel percentage for the pitches, so you can see exactly what pitches are getting barreled of the pitcher's arsenal. So you see his fastball is really getting hit 21% of the time. It's getting barreled, throwing that for the most part, and his changeup at over 30% each. First, we'll filter to this changeup, see how they're doing against that. You got Burleson here, 319, 14% K, one home run against it. Outside of that, Wonderhall 222, over 27 at bats. Church 244, 41 at bats. The rest of them don't really have a sample size there. Quite a few doubles here for Burleson against this changeup. Does have a home run. Not bad at all. A couple strikeouts recently. See, well, that was last month, so not bad. Did strike out against where is it, Peralta? Okay, not bad at all. Let's look last 30. So that strikeout percentage increased a little bit. 2 out of 10 there. You got Church 500. Small sample size. I'll look back to last year since Burleson's really the only one with a good sample size. You got Newbar 246, 19% K, 2 home runs as well. Let's look at what he's done this year. So he hasn't got a hit against it this year yet. This one's a bit unlucky. Just needed a little bit more exit velocity on it. Line out there. Couple ground outs too. Saw it yesterday, actually. Gotcha. Okay, that's the changeup. Let's look at this fastball where he's really getting hit. So you got Wonderhall here, 299 over 50 events, 67 at bats. New bar 353, small sample size. Burleson 345. Barrel percentage wise, they're all about in the same range, 12 to 13. Wonderhall does have the most home runs against his four-seamer though. Burleson 429. New bar's going to stay the same. He just got back, I think, last month. Look at Burleson real quick. So 106 off the bat yesterday. line out there. This should have been gone against Giolito. Those two were. New bar saw this yesterday too. Couple over 100 miles per hour X velocity. Couple doubles for him, a home run there. Not bad at all. He's lifting the ball outside of this -13, -12 there. He's lifting the ball pretty well. Just not throwing this cutter as much. I will look at it slightly. Not the greatest there for Burleson, 27% K. However, still does have a barrel. New bar has a barrel here. Only one event though. Doubled against Christian Scott. Burleson 14.3. Barrel there. %9 on the year. Got Weatherholt here, 8.8. New bar has the most, but small sample size for him. Maybe I like Burleson for a hit here, but maybe a home run. 12.1% barrel in the last 30 against these top three pitches. Kelly struggling with the four-seamer, which Burleson has some barrel and home runs against. Weatherholt may be in a good spot at the top of the lineup there. I believe he leads off. So I kind of like him for a hit too. I didn't see what he was doing against that changeup though. May stay away from him on that changeup and cutter. However, small sample sizes there. I want to say I'd like new bar here, platoon guy. Is only, if you don't know what platoon means, he's only gonna start when they're facing right-handed pitchers. Kelly, someone that these lefties can get to. So I lean Burleson for a homer there, and I like him for a hit too. And then new bar for a hit, and possibly Weatherholt at the top of the lineup to get a hit. Torres and Church don't look too bad here either. I don't necessarily know them off the top of my head to speak to them, but both of their batting averages don't look bad either. So these lefties should really get to Kelly here at home. Going back here. You got Paliante at home versus Arizona. As mentioned before, don't trust Arizona. He's a ground ball pitcher, so if they can lift, I believe he's throwing that sinker a lot. Possibly get to him. I was looking at Singer here. Struggles with lefties over the course of the season, but in the last 30, like he's actually doing pretty good. I'll filter to that. Like he's dropped off the batting average against, where'd he go? So he's dropped off the batting average against, but that may just be luck, to be honest, because he's still at 9.5 swing and strike. So they possibly could get to him. Milwaukee's pretty good. Just had a disappointing series against Atlanta. Let's look into this real quick. It's really sinker and slider that make up most of his pitch mix. About what, 70, over 76 percent of his pitch mix is this. You got Terang here, 333. Freelick 375. Hamilton 375. Hamilton's a platoon guy for them. Hitting it pretty well. He is batting ninth though. So not sure how many times he gets to see Singer. Terang hasn't been hitting this pitch mix well in the last 30 though. Freelick's still hitting it. Hamilton, no. Possibly Freelick here. I won't take too much time of this. Possibly Freelick here, given that he's still hitting that. And then Bowers, I know the batting average is there, but he's someone for power at 15% barrel. He's a lefty in their lineup that I look for that. Possibly him home run here. It's in Cincy, Hitter's Ballpark. Not gonna look into that too hard. And then you got your righties, Chorio, Contreras. I I've started to not trust Chorio though anymore. Let's go back to full season. Okay, still looking at lefties here. You got Matthews at home against the Dodgers. They just had a disappointing series against Baltimore after they had swept Tampa Bay. I feel like their bats come alive here. Their offense has not been there though as of late. Still in the four seamer, 37% of the time. 343, 10% barrel. You got Muncy here, 365. Freeman, 375. And Freeman did end up getting a hit. I mentioned him yesterday that I wasn't taking him, but he more than likely would get a hit. Got it in his first at bat. Not bad for Muncy here, as well as Freeman. Let's look last 30. Freeland looks pretty good too. So 469 for Freeman there, 538 for Muncy. Sheesh. Only 11, 13 at bats, 11 events. Couple home runs here, 3 in the last 30. It's pretty good. Again, I'm not looking at Freeman. I don't care. Otani sold us for a home run yesterday. Does look pretty good against the four seamer. They all look good against. There's a lot of green here against this four seamer that he's throwing almost 40% of the time. Okay. Throwing this change up a little bit too. So Otani's hitting that 344. Muncy's hitting that 344. 28 plate appearance. Well, 32 plate at bat, sorry. 28 events for Muncy. 19% barrel for Otani. He's always going to be barreling. 286 last 7 at bats. Muncy dropped off there quite a bit. A lot of strikeouts here. The whiff is okay for Matthews. Dropped off quite a bit there for Muncie. He's also someone in a platoon right now, though. I will mention. And I like them to get to Matthews. He is whiffing on that changeup. Possibly Muncie here for a hit. I do like what he's doing against the four seamer. Matthews has to be able to locate that four seamer, and then can throw that changeup to get him off of it. So I'm banking on him not to be able to do that. So I like Muncie here for a hit. Otani's always in play for a homer. Does have the barrel percentage, against his four seamer and this changeup. And so I'll go with that. Yeah, it does give some barrel up to that slider. It's not really throwing it that much for me to bank on that. From the left-hand side, that may be it. I will look to see who's giving up barrel. So Kelly, we already went over. Williams from Cleveland. He's pretty good, but he does struggle with barrel for sure. Let's look into him real quick. So it looks like this curveball and his four seamer. So no barrel here from the left-hand side against this curveball. Kosa Montgomery is a person from the left-hand side that I'd be looking to go yard here out of all of them. He does have a decent launch angle and exit velocity there. 391 feet. Let's look last year. So 12.5, about one barrel. Benintendi has one too. Let's look at this four seamer. Benintendi really hits that. Montgomery hasn't this season. .3 for Colson. It could be Benintendi here. For the most part, I look for power from Montgomery, as I mentioned. 9.4 for him last year, still 16% for Benintendi. Is barreling that curveball. I will look to see what he's doing last year against that. 12.5. It could be Benintendi here, honestly. Possibly there. Not too much time there because Williams is a pretty good pitcher, but he is giving up the long ball sometimes. Atlanta, Olsen, Harris, maybe there. Outside of that, that's about it from the left-hand side for me. Kelly's struggling with right-hand side too. I do want to tag Singa here, but that game should get rained out. There's like a 75% chance of rain, so I'm not going to spend time going over that. Yeah, Feldner versus Boston. They don't really have righties outside of Contreras, Rafaela. I'll look at it real quick. 11% barrel to righties for Feltner. Not so much in the last 30 though. He's really in trouble with this four seamer, which Contreras is not hitting. I have noticed that Durbin's been going yard though. is hitting the sinker, 6 home runs there. He's not giving out much barrel there though. And he's hitting the slider. Could possibly go Contreras here. As I mentioned, he's the righty that I look for in that lineup to hit for power out there, and cores too. So possibly Contreras there. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Lauer, do want to look at this. You got Buxton going crazy this year. 18.8 barrel percentage against this pitch mix. Does have the, you do have to worry about the K's with Buxton, but he's, a power hitter for the most part. See about this fastball. He's getting barreled 17% of the time. He's throwing it 44% of the time too. So 35% barrel there on 14 events for Buxton. As I mentioned, you have to deal with the K's with him, but home run wise, not bad beat there at all. Just homered on it. The 13th against Libertor. Outside of that, he hasn't. I mean, he's been getting flyouts. No doubles in here though. What does that look like the last 30? It's only 6 at bats, 3 events, barreled on 1 of them. Gotcha. Martin's here, someone from the right hand side, possibly for a hit. Hasn't looked well against it recently. Doesn't K though. As I mentioned, you just want him to put in play. Let's look at this changeup. So about one or 2 barrels there for Buxton. Homer against Framber. Double against K. Saw it a couple days ago. That pitch he's not really giving up. Actually, let's look at this cutter real quick. So only 3 events. Does have a barrel and a home run in the last 30. Let's look over the year. 20%. So got 2 barrels against this cutter too. 23% last year. 13 events. Possibly Buxton for a homer here. To be honest, at home, against Lauer, who's got cut from Toronto. I like Buxton, at home, 31% barrel against these 2 pitches that he's struggling with. I'll throw in this curve to see what he's doing there. Nothing really against the curve. Doesn't have any homers there, but 2 home runs, 25% barrel. I feel like that's, decent there to go with. And then I kind of like, Austin Martin here for a hit against Lauer. He should be leading off for them against this lefty. I'm still looking at barrel. Hold up. I'll look into Alexander real quick because as I mentioned, he should be a opener for Rocker. So Miami will not see him long at all. But they do got a couple righties at the top of that lineup that can get to him in that first inning. Lopez, Edwards, Hernandez more so for power. Let's look at the changeup, throwing it almost 40% of the time. You got Lopez 476 Edwards 500. Lopez does have a homer against it. So his last was 3 at bats. Gotcha. Click on this. Sack fly and 2 strikeouts. Gotcha. Small sample size, so let's look at this cutter, which is getting barreled. 375 there. 0% K. Do like that. Let's look at a bigger sample size. So only $1.11 there last year. Edwards 500. What was Edwards doing this year? 200. Yeah, it's small sample size though. It does have a barrel against it though. Could be Edwards here for a hit. Lopez can hit the sinker too. I expect him to lean much more on this changeup in this cutter though. Opener. He's not really gonna go that deep into his arsenal. Yeah, I like Lopez or Edwards for a hit here. We'll see Alexander to begin with. Rocker will come in. Edwards is a switch hitter though, so I like either of them for a hit there. I want to attack K, but Cleveland sucks. Outside of maybe Hoskins, Fry, I don't see how they get to him. Yeah, I'm cool on looking into this. Already looked at that. How to get here. Lefty versus Baltimore. Philly's not really that good against lefties. They did get to Peterson yesterday, though. He's throwing this 4-seamer 40. It's literally just 4-seamer and changeup for him. He got Ward 290. Not bad. Facing his old team. 10% K. Not bad at all. You got Alonso 17%. Barrel there across 35 events. Ward, well, it's only 6 events, but 500. 0% K. Alonso still has the barrel. May lean Ward here for a hit. Alonso does have 2 home runs in his last 3 games. They both went yard yesterday. I lean Ward here for a hit. Possibly could go Alonso for a homer. I'm not gonna bank too much on it. Does have a decent barrel against these 2 pitches. Edgar Hera is not necessarily giving up a lot of barrel though. I'm pretty sure he's a young pitcher though, and I like going against the platoon, so his swing and strike's really not there. So I'll go with that. I want to attack this Bennett kid. Does have the swing and strike stuff, but it is giving up barrel going into cores. Look at this real quick. This is more so a home run play than anything. You got Goodman here. Let's do that. 22% barrel across this 4-seamer. 18 events. Carrios doesn't look bad there either. 500. 28 bats, 8% barrel. Let's look last 30. So 3 barrels for Goodman here in the last 30. 2 home runs. Carroll's still batting 300. Let's look at this changeup. No barrels there for Goodman. Doesn't necessarily look that good. Castro is hitting it though. Full season, not a big sample size there. So is not hitting that change up for Goodman. Couple home runs last year against it. Castro's barreling that for real. But that isn't the pitch that he's struggling with though, with Bennett. So that fastball is getting barreled. He's throwing it 32% of the time. His sinker's giving up a little bit of barrel too. Goodman 20% barrel. So about 1 barrel there on 5 events. .42% barrel last year. So 3 barrels for him on 7 events. 2 home runs. I like Goodman here for a hit at home. I believe he got the day off yesterday. It's tough for any pitcher to go into Coors for the first time, but especially I believe that is a rookie, being Bennett. So I like Goodman for a homer there. And then I'll look into one more. Brad is just struggling with righties, but I don't really trust LA's lineup. Let's look into Valdez real quick. You got Goldie as usual. Not much of a sample size there. I looked last year, 353. Goldie's always in play when you're facing a lefty. Curveball, not a big sample size, but 308 last year too. And then changeup, 350. Decent at bats there. 333 last year. I like Goldie for a hit against Valdez on the road here. I think that's going to be all for me. Yeah. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great day. See you guys.